So can the bullpen pitchers just start wearing street clothes on Saturday?
I like the way you put that. Boy, it sure does appear that way, doesn't it? Gosh, to have that guy in the middle game of a series, unbelievable. So for anybody out there that doesn't like the transfer portal, you need to come and watch Derek Clark pitch for the Mountaineers. If it wasn't for the transfer portal, Derek Clark wouldn't be here. And if it wasn't for the support we get in the transfer portal, Derek Clark wouldn't be here. Kyle West wouldn't be here. Reed Chumley wouldn't be here. And those guys all are great players here.
So obviously Derek's proven he could go this far, but what goes into giving him that chance the first time? You know, what makes you say, okay, that's a great 7 innings, I'm going to let him go out for the 8th and 9th?
Well, you know, he could have done that more often, but he missed the first 4 weeks with an injury, so his pitch count was behind everybody else. So that guy could have 5 or 6 complete games by now if he would have started the season with us. But he just gets what good starting pitchers do. They get better the longer they're out there. So anytime we face a good starting pitcher that throws a lot of strikes, the time to get him is early before they settle in. And his first 3 innings, he wasn't settled in yet. His last 3, 7th, 8th, and 9th, were way better than the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And it's hard to measure what that guy's got inside his chest. He's just a tremendous leader, tremendous competitor, and a tremendous pitcher.
Coach, you obviously kind of handled Traxel the same way last year, letting him pitch deep. But he's a completely different kind of pitcher than Traxel was. What are the differences there, and why can you still treat him the same way you did Traxel?
Well, because he's performing the same way. But Derek is a guy who's going to continue to get better every single time out. He'll go back and watch this game on video and see what he did right, see what he did wrong. He'll be scouting his next opponent. He just does literally everything you want one of your baseball players to do. Derek Clark does it.
What is it that allows him to move forward past those 2 runs he gave up in the 3rd inning? You know, one, I think first one came on a wild pitch. The other one was maybe a play that could have been made, but it doesn't seem like he lingers on it.
No, he doesn't linger on it. He knows the deal. He knows when he pitches on Saturday, his job is to throw the whole game. And it doesn't matter what happens early on. He can give up 3 runs, 4 runs. He knows why he's out there. And so if something goes wrong, he doesn't care. That makes him better. When somebody gets a hit, the kid that hit the homer, that made Derek better. And a lot of guys would fold over and get worse after that happens. That makes him better.
Coach, switching gears a little bit, I mean, hey.
Oh, my goodness, look who's in the house. Aaron Fitt himself. How you doing, brother?
Good, man. I'm doing good. You know, I know aggressive base running has kind of been a hallmark of your programs for a long time, but the way you guys ran the bases today, I mean, it seemed like every chance you took worked. It seemed like, has it been this way for you this year?
It hasn't. You know the players in our lineup, and we don't have even half the speed we've had last year, but we're going to take what they give us, because it's amazing, though, even though we don't have the speed, when we run and when we bunt and when we play that game, we usually win. So we're always going to continue to take what people give us, but we don't have the Victor Scotts and the Brandon Whites and those guys that are going to steal 35, 40 bases, and JJ's not 100%, so he's not going to steal many bases. So the guys who are stealing bases aren't base stealers. And I think that has a lot to do with why they're stealing bases, because the other team knows they're not great runners, and they don't make too much of an attempt to hold us.
Coach, any thoughts? Well, what are your thoughts? JJ hitting a home run today, kind of seeing the ball a little bit better. I mean, just getting back into it.
That homer's my favorite play. When there's 3 guys on base, that makes it even better. And when players miss time, you always come back rusty. Baseball's a sport where you have to do it almost every day to stay good at it. Nobody's ever been perfect at baseball, but if a pitcher misses a start, he's always rusty coming back. If a position player misses a start, they're always rusty coming back. And today, when he was hitting the ball to left center field, and that's JJ. Yeah. When he hits ground balls on the pull side, that's not JJ. So the homer, the sac fly, the double at Kansas in the 9th inning, those are all balls that are hit really hard to the opposite field. And when he's doing that, you know he's getting back to where he was.
Your team has started to hit the ball better since Weatherholt and Save have come back. What can you say that your team just plays better with them and they've just started to come alive?
There's no doubt. The Kansas series last weekend, he was the first batter of the series because he hits leadoff and we were the visitors. He got a base hit up the middle, and I think the whole dugout went, yes, yes, we got our team. And that's an amazing feeling to feel the energy going through the dugout with him and Logan back. I mean, JJ's missed I don't know how many games, 20-some. Logan's missed 20 games. Hussey's missed 10 games. Kresser's missed 10 games. This has been the most injured team I have ever coached. And for us to be standing here not talking about the elephant in the room that we're in first place right now is amazing to do what we've done without those guys. We still have some pitching pieces that we have to move around and see how that's going to play out. But having those guys back changes the complexion of our team.
I was just going to ask you about that. When you look at, I don't know if you call it makeup or the character, but I mean, from the beginning till now, you've had the injuries, but you've also had probably some non-conference games you probably would like to have back. You know, you get no hit one game, and then you come back and win that series. You know, you lose to Marshall the other day, and then you come back and beat the number 17. What is it that, you know, every time you think, okay, well, this is it, they show you wrong? I mean,
I think my coaches do a great job. We're always convincing these guys that over a course of 60 games, you're going to lose a game that you shouldn't have lost. We lost a really bad game at Charlotte. We lost a fly ball in the sun. We lost that game at Marshall. That's 2 games out of 60. We'll get that back. We're going to win a couple games that we're not supposed to. Over the course of 60 games, all that stuff kind of plays out. So you can't get too caught up in it when that happens, and you can't get too excited about it when it happens on the good side. So this team has been so even-keeled, and I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but 2 years ago, we were one of only 3 or 4 teams in the nation that didn't lose 3 games in a row the entire season. And then last year, we did the same exact thing. We went to Texas and got swept at Texas in the last regular season game, a series of the year, and everybody said, what happened? What happened? You got swept. Tell you what happened. We did what everybody else in the country. We were the only team at that point who had been in that position. We have been playing really good, consistent baseball in this program for a long time. And I think we have done a good job of convincing them that you have to have a short memory. Don't worry about the games that you feel like you gave away. Just always be ready to play the next one. And I think that's what we've done.
you're talking about kids, though. Is that a hard message to get across to them?
Yeah, for sure, because social media, and they read everything and they see everything. They see when people say great things about them, and they see when they don't. So, yeah, we got Coach Saves likes to call it poison. You know, don't read the poison, because if you get caught up in it, you can start believing it.
Yeah.
You know, but our guys believe what we talk to them about in the locker room and in the team theater and within our family. So regardless of what it says from the outside, our guys really, really know how to approach every game.